Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. One of the geopolitical zone that for me, I consider them to have restructured because they are so united, not just united. At all time, you see them making decisions, especially in respect to insecurity, banditry, and some national issues. You see them, they are very unanimous. They are very together, and they make unanimous decision affecting the region itself. I think of all the regions we have in Nigeria, the only one that have been able to make key decision about insecurity, about security network had been the southwestern state. And right now they were in a meeting, though the meeting was not attended by some key stakeholders, though they are in the know about what was going to be discussed, but they were not entertained, like the governors and the likes. But then the meeting still held, and it has to do with how they can put a final full stop to the issue of insecurity, the issue of ranching, the issue of some policies that are not good enough for them. And they had the meeting. Communique is out. It's had like 10 agendas, and it has been finally revealed. And that's what we're going to be looking at in a jiffy. But before we continue, if you're not subscribed, just hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. According to the news, leaders of thought comprising Oba's chief, policy shapers, politicians, technocrats, security-related groups, and socio-cultural groups have decided that the Yoruba nation would no longer play a second fiddle in the arrangement of Nigeria, which has failed them. The large gathering of the leaders and youths in Pan-Yoruba group held a rally at Mapo Hall in Ibadan, regarded as the political nerve center of the entire southwestern Nigeria, where it was decided that the system now being operated in Nigeria can no longer sustain the country, and as such have decided to pull out and stand alone as a nation. The group at the end of the meeting issued a communique signed by Mogaji Boyega Adejumo, which centered on the greater and common good of the Yoruba nation. They stated in the 10-point agenda that, number one, the Yorubas are resolved in their determination not to stand idle and watch our space and land desecrated. Only an arsonist allow a fire to burn and destroy. We will not permit strangers to abuse our hospitality and desecrate our hallowed land and our sacred space. Indeed, we invoke the ancient malediction reserved for such malefactor. Our forest needs no permission to swallow them. The Yorubas are confronted by the realization that we are living in a time of bad metaphors, a time where dogs do not hearken unto the whistle of the hunter, and the rivers which have forgotten their sources still continue to flow. The world is turned inside out, and the sociopolitical fabric of Nigeria is ripped into shreds. Today in Buhari's Nigeria, the ship of state has veered dangerously off course and head always irreversibly towards jack rocks of destruction. Insecurity has reached such an abyss that hundreds of people are kidnapped in broad daylight with impunity. Number 3, the Yorubas are convinced that Nigeria is on the verge of a catastrophic calamity of potentially greater magnitude than either the internecine conflict of 1967 to 1970 or the Brazen disenfranchisement of 1993. Nigeria, as we know it, has embarked on uncharted sea with nihilists as crewmen. We are a country divided along distrusting ethnic lines, exhausted by its failure, cynical about its own future, authoritarian by reflex and control as a personality called by section of the country. The relentless pursuit of power by a group of self-severed, the ruthless cabals that respect neither equality nor equality with the entrenched sense of entitlement has taken away any sense of belonging to their union by the Yorubas. When injustice becomes law, resistance will be a duty. Number 4, the Yoruba announced their exhaustion with this government obsession with lies and denial of truth and fact. Farmer headers clash are denied despite photographic evidence of massacre and eyewitness report of mayhem. Terrorists roam the land in the gap of headsmen, killing, raping, kidnapping and maiming with little or no reactions from constituted authority. A high-ranking government official declared that bandits are not criminal. Number 5, the Yoruba are perplexed by the fact that the Nigerian state is bombing the Eastern Security Network, yet the same government is embracing and romancing terrorists. It is now safe to say this is a government that panders to terrorists, protect terrorists, pay ransom to them, and prevaricate terrorism with absolutely no sanction by the northern-dominated security apparatus of Nigeria. How exactly can such a government continue to seek the support of the Yoruba going forward? The Yoruba hereby, that's number 6, the Yoruba hereby make known their opposition to Sheikh Gumi's interaction with these dreaded people. The video circulating on social media that shows Sheikh trying to divide the Nigerian army along religious line is an abominable wake-up call. The Sheikh is guilty of incitement when he claimed that it is Christian soldiers who attack bandits to sow religious tension, to encourage bandits to be selective in their reprisal attack and avoid women and children in tantamount to aiding and abetting sabotage. The Sheikh has forgotten the thousands of Christian soldiers who have lost their lives battling Boko Haram and other terrorists. Nigerian military is one of the few institutions that have resisted division along religious line. By condoning Sheikh Gumi's felonious pronouncement, the government is allowing him to fan the embers of crisis while hiding under the cloaks of mediation. Number 7, the Yorubas are convinced that the North is already at war with itself. Rather than face the situation squarely, the Northern control federal government keep trying to divert attention to teasing out conflict in some areas and exporting crisis to other locations. The Yoruba call it Damimo Seda. It will not work. The Yoruba will not swallow the bet and allow our hard-won inheritance to be consumed in the consequence congratulation. Cognizance of the foregoing, it has become imperative that the terrorist that was known as Western Region under the 19th territory, cognizance of the foregoing, it has become imperative that the territory that was known as Western Region under the 1963 Constitution, along with other people having affinities with the Yoruba nation in Edo, Delta, Kogi, and Kwara, be organized in pursuit of a political identity and socio-economic welfare of all. Notwithstanding any political correction label, our quest is to think through and fashion out the pathway for the progress of our people at the homeland and across the world. The Yoruba hereby resolve as follows. Number 1, the Yoruba have decided to embark on a venture of massive resistance to the issue of insecurity. Omotekun and other support system, fully incorporating both traditional and modern security methods and systems, have been integrated to form the Southwest Security and Stakeholder Group, SWSSG, which is presented to the Yoruba and the world today. The role of SWSSG is the protection of our patrimony, our physical and human asset, our forests and our intangible legacies, which have been inviolated and inviolable for over a millennium. The forests of the Yorubas are sacred, untouchable, and out of bounds to terrorists. May the causes of all our forefathers hold to account all who attempt to cede even 1 inch of our forest to any ranch or settlement for the use of foreigner, despoilers, ruiners, ravagers, and desecrators of our forests. Our forest house our spirituality, our essence, our egongon, our aura, our spirit, our food security, our culture, our being. The Yoruba distance themselves from the oft-repeated untruth that Nigerian unity is not negotiable. This is nothing but a falsehood, but it knows now and ever. The unity of Nigeria is highly negotiable. If we cannot be happy together, then let us find peace and joy apart. Nigeria can only remain Nigeria if all parties agree to deal equitably with each other. And number 4, the Yorubas are resolved in the fierce determination to pursue vigorously our own chosen destiny, to be free men and women, and never to be second-class citizens to our own land and space. My God, this is very nice to hear, and for me it is long overdue. It is time for things to be corrected once and for all. I don't have much to say here because already the whole thing has been clearly spelled out. It is now time for the federal government to have a rethink on the line of restructuring, on the line of making sure that there is equitable distribution of power, and on the grounds that a lot of abnormalities are made normal so that Nigeria will not split in the nearest future. I'd like to leave it there. You've heard the content of the news. Go to our comment section. Let's interact. What's your position on all of this that the